So first you want to start with some liquid latex. I buy mine off trademe.co.nz from a brand called Minifies. So I'm just pouring some into the lid and I'm using a small old brush. Yes, liquid latex will ruin your brushes, so just use something that you don't mind getting all disgusting and hard. And I'm using this to disperse the product all over my arm, and it actually spread out really evenly across my arm. Like I dipped in a tiny bit and it literally went so far, so a little bit does go a long way. And just letting you know, you could put Vaseline under this so when you take it off it doesn't hurt, because it did rip out all my arm hairs. So now I'm sticking down some toilet tissue and lining it up with the glue and just tapping it down, and because that glue was quite sticky, I pulled around the edges and it like came off quite nicely to the shape of the glue, that toilet tissue. And then on top of that, I'm just using my finger to dab on the liquid latex. So as you can see here, I'm making sure I flatten down all the edges. You don't want any toilet tissue sticking up. I hope you guys like these kind of Halloween videos as well. If you want to see more of these SFX videos, then definitely let me know down below in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel either. It would mean the world to me and help me get to 30,000 subscribers. It would mean a lot. So here I'm just sticking on another layer of tissue paper on top of that liquid latex to make it really nice and thick. And this will make the gash look really realistic, and it will make it more easy to cut into. So I'm just like pouring the lid onto the toilet tissue and kind of spreading it out with my finger. I found it much quicker that way. It put the product over more evenly. So you want to cover every single space, make sure you have no dry bits. It took a really long time to dry. I think it was because it was such a big area. It took probably like 5 minutes to dry. So after it dries, put on some foundation, a colour that will match your skin tone. And I use a beauty blender and I just dab that all over the white. Now you want to make sure that there's no white bits showing. After I went in with the beauty blender, I did put some foundation on my finger and kind of like pressed it down into the like little creases where the beauty blender wouldn't get into. Now you just want to take some powder and a big brush and you want to set over the foundation so it just dries and it's a nice base to work with. And this will help it to not transfer everywhere and like go all over your clothes and stuff. Now I'm grabbing some small nail scissors, and small scissors are the best. Now this does look scary, but because the liquid latex in the toilet tissue is so thick, it's easy to just make a little incision and then just slide the scissors across. You can feel where your skin is. Just make sure you don't point the scissors right down. Just have it on a horizontal angle and just slide it right across. This does look pretty scary, but you can actually feel it. I did it on my friend the other day. I made some cuts and it was like harder because I couldn't feel her skin underneath, so she had to let me know like if I was getting at her skin. But you just want to make a big gash, and I'm making kind of a big like wavy open gory gash kind of wound. You can do like a really thin cut, but because I'm doing 2 exposed bones, I needed this to be quite big. So after doing the cut, what you can do is use your fingers to separate it and stretch it a little bit and make it bigger. So I'm just kind of pulling it off to extend the cut a little bit. Get all those little white bits out. It was all stuck to my hairs. I think those bits hadn't dried properly, so I just clear that up. And then what you want to do is get your foundation and your beauty blender and blend in the edges inside the wound. So you don't want any white areas showing, so I'm just spreading this all underneath the flaps. And don't forget, guys, to follow me on Instagram. That would mean the world to me. I do upload daily, and my Instagram handle is just left on the screen as usual. So definitely go and follow me on there. That would be amazing. So now I'm taking the BH Cosmetics Take Me to Brazil palette. I'm taking this red shade and I'm just using an old big brush and I'm just blending this all into the wound. Now this is going to be a base before we put the bones and the blood down. And this looks really hard to recreate when you see the photo, but I'm trying to do the most in-depth tutorial as I can for you guys, so it's easy to follow. And once you know how to do SFX cuts, it's pretty easy from there. So I take a black and I put that all inside to add some depth to the cut so it doesn't look too red and too fake. And then I get some purple and blue and red hues and I just use that to do some bruising. Now the trick is with bruising is just to do it anywhere randomly and don't do bits too dark. And also do it around where the liquid latex stops to just kind of hide the you know, the latex and the glue to your skin tone. It kind of, yeah, helps it to hide on your skin. So now on to making the bones. So people were asking me when I went out, oh my gosh, how did you make that? Like they were so amazed and they thought it was like a stick-on thing from the shop. And I'm like, no, I made this all by hand. And they loved it. Like I got so many compliments on this exposed arm bones when I went out. This is what I did wear out for Halloween on the weekend. And I did do SFX cuts as well. So literally how to make the bones, all you do is roll up some toilet tissue, just whip with it. It might rip a little bit. And just kind of twist it up and then put liquid latex all over. Now try and cover it up so there's no dry bits, and you just want to kind of shape the tissue with your fingers to make it nice and straight and to make it look like a bone. So I was looking at the pictures of arm bones on the internet, and you actually do have two that come down from your forearm into your wrist. So I made two of those and just wait for them to dry. Once they get dry, they feel almost like rubbery. It's kind of weird. And then you just like press them down to flatten them a little bit to make them look more real. So I put liquid latex down where the bones are going to go. I just put them straight down. And then I place the bone right under the skin and flatten it down on that liquid latex. Cut it to size and tuck it under the skin so you can't see where the bone ends so it doesn't look fake. Now that's why I did such a big flap, so it's easy to hide the bones and so it looks more realistic, like the skin's actually like being really split open. So it would look more fake if you didn't have the skin so flappy, I reckon. So yeah, I'm sticking in the second bone now and I'm cutting it to size and tucking it under with the other one and just adjusting it all in place. And by the way, this didn't fall off on Halloween. It was pretty sturdy, so I did a pretty good job. Yeah, SFX cuts and all that are pretty hard to come off if you don't use Vaseline and if you use liquid latex. So there I just put some purple and blue colours in on the sides of the bones and in the flaps, and then I'm using this fake blood and I put it all down the sides. Now I recommend using a better fake blood that doesn't dry so pink, because when this dried it literally stained the bones pink, which looked fake, so I pretty much had to cover a majority of the bone in scab blood just to hide that pink. So here's the scab blood here, and this is the star of the show. This makes it look so realistic. I got this off trademe.co.nz from the brand Ben Nye. So you can also buy Ben Nye online. Just search it up and see what comes up. So I assume when you get a big cut, your blood scabs up, so I put the scab blood all inside and I take quite big hunks to make it look really thick and chunky and gross and more realistic. As you can see here, you couldn't really see the pink showing up, but in real life there was quite a bit of pink areas on the bone, so I had to hide it with the scab blood because the scab blood is quite dark red and thick and more realistic. So I'm literally just putting this all inside on the flaps, smearing it around the outside of my arms, and I'm putting also some on the edges where the liquid latex ends, so you can't really see that, makes it look more real. And I just put lots inside where the bones are as well. So now I'm just adding some on the edges of the bone so it sticks down really well and so you can't see where it ends. And this is where I'm just getting really big hunks and sticking big hunks like in random spots inside and around the flaps and on the bones. And this is my last Halloween video of 2017. It is very sad. I have really enjoyed making SFX Halloween videos for you guys, and I have made 8 in total, so it's been really fun but really time consuming. But yeah, I definitely think I'll do more SFX looks after Halloween if you guys want me to. So yeah, don't forget to like this video if you did and subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me, and I'll see you guys at my next week's video. Bye.